I'm not interested in opera at all. Normally, I don't listen to music. My Turandot is going to be different.
This is our director, Ai Weiwei.
He's been called the most powerful figure in contemporary art.
I know Ai Weiwei as a free speech magnet, as a freedom fighter.
This is a perfect story about China.
China is not a free country.
In looking at Ai Weiwei's interpretation of Puccini's Turandot, it gives it a totally different meaning, especially what's happening in our culture today.
We knew working with Ai Weiwei was going to be unique and different. He's an activist. We all feel like we're activists as well. So it was like kindred spirits working together. But we didn't know that the Ukraine war was going to break out. We didn't know about the pandemic. So all these things happened and changed the tenor of the film, of the documentary.
He never had seen an opera, or he didn't listen to music. Then he goes on and says, I love doing things that I'm not good at. And that surprised me, because what a mindset that is. He
likes new challenges. He likes to create in his mind, if there's hurdles, it creates another vision, another way of doing things. So when he did his biography, it was a graphic novel. Nothing he does is ordinary, or it's always unique. It has, he brings with him his past, and he says everything that we do is part of our past. He was exiled with his father when he was like 9 years old, young boy. And I think being in Siberia, where they were exiled with no art, there was no beauty, there were no trees, there was nothing. That creates something in your mind, I think, that he carried with him. So the ability to create art and to do it for every man. He is every man. We are all refugees, and he feels that so deeply. And he is representing all those that don't have a voice to be able to speak and to protect themselves, or to express what's going on inside when you're a refugee, or when you have no freedom of expression.
How did the opera community, because I know there are a lot of traditionalists that would just go, oh, you can't do this to Puccini.
I think for the most part, they embraced the film. There were only 9 days of production of the opera. It ran from March 22nd through the 31st. So there were only 9 days, which is remarkable when you think about the work, 650 people that created that opera. And all those years where it initially started, and then it stopped for 2 years, and then they came back. So there was so much time and so much emotion around it. Will it ever get finished? Will we ever see this? And so many people had invested creative energy into creating those costumes under Ai Weiwei with the costume director. They didn't know what was going to happen. So I think that brought a level of anxiety and a preciousness to the opera, to art itself.
Poche ore fa il governo ha definito delle regole alle quali ovviamente noi non possiamo non sottostare, quindi dobbiamo chiudere il teatro fino alla fine di marzo. Non si possono fare più le prove.
Always say the work is like my home. So it's like suddenly you build the home, it collapsed.
We wanted to show Ai Weiwei, and we wanted people to know who he was. We wanted to show his work, and the fact that he was arrested for 81 days in exile somewhere. He never talks about it, and that affected his work before and after. So we knew all of that. It's just a balance of finding that, and documentaries kind of just find their way. You have the footage, you put in the archival, you bring in the music, and then you find a flow, a spine, and then it goes from there. But I think we always thought it was going to be an activist film, and it was going to be about subject matters that were important to the world, and was going to be beautiful because the opera is stunning. The work that Ai Weiwei did with the design, production design, with the costumes, it's just breathtaking. And then the way Maxine put the film together with the 3 acts, it's awesome when you're there and you're sitting there and It comes right at you. It takes you right in.
Why I will have to do a Turandot? What is my interpretation of the show?
I just love the whole flow of the film, and we get to Nessuno dorma, none shall sleep.
Yes.
And when that arrives, because that's basically the signature piece of the opera.
That's right.
And when you think of the words none shall sleep, and really it resonates today, being inundated with news. And I mean, I try to tell myself, don't watch it, but I want to know what's going on. And there is that feeling that we can't sleep because
Right.
any moment somebody can bust down our door, ask for our papers.
You're so right, Mark. And at the screenings at the Lemley this past week, grown men were crying at the end and saying, this has touched my heart like nothing else has touched me because of the timeliness of it. Just as you said, we cannot sleep. Do not get distracted. Things are going on that we have to pay attention to.
Can you tell me, is there a touchstone or something, that one thing that will resonate with you to the next film or even throughout the rest of your life?
Well, I think saying yes is important. And I think looking for and expecting miracles is another one, because there were so many roadblocks along the way on both films. And you just keep going and you just expect that it's going to be okay, that things, you work very hard. That's essential. But you have to just keep believing we can do this. This will happen. You see it, you manifest it as best you can. That's what I believe in, saying yes and knowing and believing in yourself and your project, and expecting miracles to happen along the way.
No one has ever done a Turandot that's about the world today as it is, so directly. Every detail, every costume, every prop has been designed new. Nothing is the way it ever usually looks.
Ai Weiwei's Turandot, of course, related his work and his life. The concept of his artwork is definitely related to Turandot.
I think art compete with reality, and art will give the last words.